Michael Jordan didn't just want to win, he needed to win. And if you were his teammate, that need instantly became your problem. Fans saw the trophies, 6 championships, 5 MVPs, scoring titles, records, the highlight reels. But the people who played next to him, they lived in a world defined by pressure, intensity, and expectations that bordered on impossible.
I enjoy guarding Mike because he was, the one thing I did with Mike is I never got him pissed off. He make a shot, you say, good shot, Mike.
Greatness came with a cost, and the people who paid that cost most directly were the guys wearing Bulls jerseys standing right beside him. Today, we're diving into the lesser-told side of Michael Jordan, the greatest player of all time. The mental warfare, the relentless pressure, the trash talk, the physical battles, and why playing next to the GOAT was just as exhausting as it was historic. Playing with Michael Jordan meant chasing perfection every single day. Not good, not great, perfect.
And I'll never forget one of my first exhibition games. We played the Bulls. I was just trying to make the roster, and Michael Jordan gets the ball right in front of our bench. And I'm already scared to death, like, God, I hope I don't get into this game. I'm not ready for this stuff. He holds the ball out and he looks right at me. And I'm on the bench just kind of like, he holds the ball out and he goes, watch this. And he turns, he went right around Dan Marley, bam, dunks it, looks back at our bench and just starts laughing.
And the truth is, most NBA players weren't mentally prepared for that kind of standard. Former teammate Will Perdue once put it bluntly, Michael wasn't just tough, he was a jerk. But he was a jerk with a purpose. Jordan didn't believe in easing up. If you were on the Bulls, you either elevated to his level or you got exposed. B.J. Armstrong, who experienced Jordan as both a teammate and an opponent, said, he expected you to leave everything on the floor, and if you didn't, you were going to hear about it. Jordan's belief was simple. If you can't handle pressure in practice, you'll crumble under pressure in the finals. He treated every scrimmage like Game 7. This perfectionism created tension in the locker room. Horace Grant described it as psychological warfare. Steve Kerr said practices under Jordan were more intense than the games. Tony Kukoc admitted he needed a mental adjustment just to deal with Jordan's fire every day. Jordan's teammates weren't competing with other NBA players. They were competing with Jordan's expectations, which were often higher than the ceiling most people thought they had.
Yeah. Mike would have, you better bring your game.
You and Mike in his prime.
Mike in his prime. We went at it toe to toe, head to head.
I know, yeah, of course.
Mike was like, man, you never back down. You're strong.
Yeah.
I love you.
For Jordan, trash talk wasn't entertainment. It was tactical. He didn't just outplay you. He tried to break you. Will Perdue said it clearly. He would demean you to get what he wanted out of you. And he meant it. Jordan didn't care if you were a rookie trying to survive or a veteran with years of respect. If he didn't like your effort or if he sensed weakness, he was on you instantly.
My very first game playing against Michael Jordan and the Bulls. Oh. And we had a guy named Greg Minor guarding him. My mom at home watching, the kids watching, everybody watching. So they got in a little scuffle. MJ's going to the free throw line, and he looks at Greg and he says, I should make you take my shoes off. I looked down, I didn't even realize it. I looked down and he got the Jordans on. So I said, oh man, this is my first game ever. I said, this is what I got to look forward to.
You learned a valuable lesson though, right?
Well, obviously I didn't say much to MJ the rest of the night.
Jordan once told veteran center Bill Cartwright, if I don't get the ball, you'll never touch it again. B.J. Armstrong recalled that Jordan had an uncanny ability to find whatever insecurity you carried, fear, doubt, lack of confidence, and go right at it. This wasn't just trash talk for fun or camera moments. This was Jordan's way of testing you.
He wasn't a bully, and but I can get and I can understand how they can be perceived that way, especially from the outside looking in. It was very clear when you played with him and you were in that locker room that you had to have your full commitment. Not only coming to practice and doing the things and saying you're doing the things, your words, your actions, and your behavior had to be inside those lines. And he wanted to make sure that, we all wanted to make sure that, I can tell you, especially on the first, three-peat, is that we were all committed to this process.
He wanted to know who belonged on the court with him when it mattered most. And the downside? Not everyone passed. Many players crumbled under it. Some quietly asked to be traded. Others simply never reached their potential because they spent every day feeling like they were one mistake away from a verbal beatdown. Jordan's trash talk wasn't personal, but it felt personal. And for some guys, the line between motivation and humiliation got crossed more than once.
We're playing this exhibition game, and Michael's going through the motion. And Chuck Person, who's on my team, who's a trash talker as well, is like, can you believe Michael Jordan, the guy everyone's talking about, who's supposed to be able to walk on water? You're out here killing him, Reg. This is in the first half. He's like, you should be talking to him. He's like, you're right, Michael. Who do you think you are? The great Michael Jordan? That's right. There's a new kid on town, right? Kind of looks at me and starts shaking his head. So at half, I have 10 and he has 4 points, right? I'm doing all this talking. He's like, okay. Into the game in the second half, he ended up with 44 and I ended up with 12.
Jordan grew up in the 1980s NBA, a league of elbows, hard fouls, and the bad boys Pistons. Physicality wasn't just part of the game, it was the game. And Jordan brought that same intensity into practice. The most famous example? The Steve Kerr punch. Kerr recalled, "I stood up to him and he punched me in the face. And honestly, it made our relationship better." Jordan admitted afterward, "I was wrong, but I needed to know who could handle the pressure." But that wasn't the only confrontation. Horace Grant said practices were like war. Bill Wennington said that some days players walked into the gym nervous about what mood Jordan would be in. Jordan wanted to recreate playoff-level intensity every day. If you were scared, he sensed it immediately, and he attacked.
But I wanted to play against Jordan one last time. And so we're playing the Wizards, and when I tell you, he torched me in that first quarter. Like literally, he gave me 20 points in the first quarter on the same play. Like he just ran the same play every time and did this, and I could not guard him. And so literally, I checked out of the game at the end of the first quarter. And I didn't even go to the bed. I just walked back to the locker room. Like I was done. Like literally had surgery like a couple days later.
He wanted practices to be harder than games so that when the spotlight hit, the Bulls would be unfazed. But this approach had collateral damage. Not everyone thrived under a culture of physical combat. Some were intimidated. Others were simply exhausted by the constant edge Jordan demanded. For many players, the hardest part of playing with Michael Jordan wasn't the games. It was surviving Tuesday practice.
Jordan was an assassin.
It was a different level. It was an absolute different level.
Down, man, I'm at 35, 17.
Yeah, it was hands down Mike.
Wasn't close.
No, goodness, hell no.
Playing with Jordan meant more than basketball. You were living in the shadow of a global icon, a man whose fame, expectations, and cultural impact were unlike anything the league had ever seen.
Point blank, I never seen nobody play like he plays. And you can include all of them.
Even Scottie Pippen, one of the best players in NBA history, spent years being called Jordan's sidekick. Pippen's mistakes were magnified, while his successes often faded behind Jordan's spotlight. Tony Kukoc entered the league as Europe's best player. And before he even arrived, Jordan and Pippen targeted him in the 1992 Olympics, simply because Bulls GM Jerry Krause liked him. Kukoc said he felt targeted before he'd even met them. Horace Grant, a critical piece of the first three-peat, often found himself blamed for failures, but rarely celebrated for successes. He once said that playing with Jordan meant total excellence or total scrutiny. There was no in-between. Every player who ever wore a Bulls jersey understood this reality. When you play next to Michael Jordan, your identity becomes secondary to his.
Jordan.
You took Jordan?
I'm never going against Jordan, dog. I've never seen it. I thought Michael Jordan was Jesus Christ. Like playing to be Michael Jordan. I swear to God, dog.
Even if you had the game of your life, the headline would always be, "Jordan leads Bulls, not you." Some players handled that fine, but others resented living in a world where they were always the supporting actor, never the star. Some players loved Jordan's intensity, others broke under it. One of the most well-known stories involves Rodney McRae. Reports circulated that Jordan repeatedly called him a loser in practice and mocked him for being hesitant in big moments. Teammates said it affected McRae's confidence so badly that it changed the trajectory of his career. Jordan's approach was unforgiving. He didn't sugarcoat. He didn't apologize unless he truly crossed a line. He pushed and pushed and pushed, and he expected everyone to push back, but not everyone could. Jordan himself acknowledged this in The Last Dance. Winning has a price, and leadership has a price. Then he admitted something rare, something honest. "I know my teammates probably thought I was an asshole." He wasn't wrong. Many did, but the complicated truth is, many of those same teammates later thanked him for pushing them to levels they didn't know they had. Still, the mental toll was real. Playing with Jordan meant every day felt like an evaluation, a test, a judgment. As great as Jordan was, he wasn't known for building close relationships. He wasn't hanging out after games, grabbing dinner with the guys, or hosting team bonding nights. He kept a tight inner circle, and most teammates weren't in it.
I played against him a long time, and he just did it. You know, he had all that. He just had the mentality to win. And if it gets close, he gonna take the shot.
Horace Grant didn't speak to Jordan for years. Charles Oakley, one of Jordan's closest early career friends, said Jordan kept emotional walls up that few ever got past. And Scottie Pippen, Jordan's greatest teammate, eventually developed deep resentment, especially after The Last Dance portrayed their partnership in a way Scottie felt diminished him. The downside? You might win rings, but you might also lose friendships. For many players, the championship parades were unforgettable, but the personal cost lingered long after the confetti stopped falling. Michael Jordan's teammates didn't just get a front row seat to greatness, they paid the price of greatness. Playing with MJ meant high-stakes pressure, relentless trash talk, physical battles, mental challenges, fractured relationships, and an expectation of perfection that few humans can live up to. But here's the twist. Years later, many of those same teammates admit something important. It was worth it. Because Jordan didn't just make them better basketball players. He made them stronger competitors, tougher athletes, and in many cases, stronger people. The downside of playing with Michael Jordan was also the very thing that made him the greatest winner the game has ever seen. Please smash that like button and subscribe to help make more videos like these possible.